Beautiful divine masculine and feminine darlings. This is the Seraphim Gem Gypsy. SeraFae Indigo Empress and Shiloh Horizon. I have hiccups. I just got them a few minutes ago. And then I got rid of them, but here they are again. I was just getting ready to make some tea. Getting ready for bed. Excuse me. I just got done making some juice. And some quinoa for smoked salmon bowls tomorrow. Excuse me. I just got done cleaning up the kitchen. Let's tap in. Picking up a karmic energy that seems very angry. Mmm. That's 3 times. I got rid of them and then I yawned, and right in the middle of a yawn they came back. Usually if I get them once in a day. I get them a few times in a day, but not usually that quickly. Beauty. So I've been picking that up over the last couple of days. There's some karmics jealous of the lightworker's beauty. Also their spiritual abilities, so they've been trying to do beauty spells. I've also been picking up that they didn't want people to be seen either. They wanted to bully lightworkers out of social settings, either outcasting them in groups, usually via slander, excuse me, slander, then something about trying to copy the lightworker but not wanting them to be seen, right? So thinking that they can copy a lightworker's style or what they perceive as a lightworker's blueprint or something, and they don't want the lightworker to be seen, so they try to copy what they think makes the lightworker successful, just based on what they're seeing from the external, not realizing what it takes actually, what work it requires to put in behind the scenes to actually accomplish those goals and reach the level of ranking that they're jealous of. But they want to copy whoever they're targeting, and they don't want to be seen doing it, and they don't want people to know that they're copying or who they're copying. So glamour, yeah, see, there it is. They want the light workers they're copying. They don't like this truth either. Oh my goodness. I don't think I've ever had a hiccup attack like this. This one's wicked. Into this mirror, I now see, see, there's a glamour spell here. So they were trying to cloak themselves in someone else's essence, energy, personality. But they didn't want people to know, so they wanted whoever they were copying to be, I heard, Hiccups. Out of sight, out of mind. Best possible decision. They just started a second ago. Before I came on here, these karmics, also the throat chakra attacks, they don't want this truth to come out. The reason that they also don't want people to just be their natural, authentic selves is because they felt like it would attract their true counterpart. So again, they wanted people to be hidden. Safe home. They wanted people either to not be safe or not feel safe. But we know better. These are people who also didn't want people to, whoever they were, they do not like this truth. Whoever they were targeting, they didn't want the light worker to be able to evolve, so they either wanted to cause financial burdens or they wanted to keep light workers from being able to clear them, or both. Success. Yeah, there it is. Just heard civil servant as well. This may have to do with the law. Energy. Wow, look, energy in reverse and harvest. So they wanted to energy harvest, energy vampire off of people, but they can't. They can't do it. Super funny. I was just getting ready a moment ago for bed. I just put some fresh blankets and sheets on the bed. I think we're done with this deck. Thank you, God. Let's see also what... Let's see. Comes out of this. What else do you want us to know? Know you belong. So it doesn't matter what they tried to say or how they tried to outcast. Love that you are different. Yeah, it's the thing. What makes you different makes you beautiful. Time to ground. Nurture all that you love and embrace spirit. Okay, so there's a reference of restful sleep and dream time. Also making a point to self-care, nurture your own home and environment and family. If you're in an environment or you've just left an environment that was full of toxic people maybe who were so-called family but they weren't behaving like it, so you had to step away. Nurture all that you love is also soul family coming through. Yeah, see, heed your dreams. Know that there are blessings coming through. Let your emotions flow. It's okay to feel your feelings and stay strong. Even if you had to let go Seems like you, if this resonates with you, you had to let go of some people you already know that they weren't good for you and what the core message and lesson point was. So that's good. This is just confirmation for those that one resonates with. Okay. So there's abundance on the other side of clearing through an old cycle or moving away from a person or situation that wasn't healthy for you, clearing it out. Something that was otherwise arguments could have been a relationship, could also symbolize divorce for some people, but it's like quarrels in a relationship. I feel like this has to do with ex people. Could be friends or family, definitely exes. I feel like they're wishing that they hadn't lost out on light workers or wanting to spin the block, but I'm hearing that for the light workers that this one resonates with, remember how toxic it was and how miserable you were because they haven't changed. Not that person. It's all for show. I think they need to get you to believe that they've changed or that they're changing to lure you back. It's called the hoovering method, like a vacuum. The Hierophant in reverse. But there's nothing sovereign or upright about this. This could even be, like I said, legal issues. Somebody tried to cause legal issues. Six of Swords, because they didn't want divine masculine and or feminines to be able to move to calmer waters nice and peacefully. Seven of Swords, no. And they didn't want the light worker to be elevated. Oh no, excuse me. They did not want the light worker to be able to sneak away from the drama that they were causing and move to, again, those calmer waters, or rebuild, work on rebuilding peacefully, let alone at all. But it doesn't matter because there's divine support backing, the light worker who had the strength to move forward and the wisdom to know that it was better to go it alone than be in the company of the wrong people, which actually turned the Wheel of Fortune. Wow, look at this. In the favor of divine justice. And whoa, dude. Okay. There's a release of blockages and a full-out removal of blockages. They're being cleansed out once and for all as the world opens up. So new found blessings at all, let alone of abundance, sustenance. King of Wands, Knight of Wands, okay. So there's an immature masculine, a fire sign masculine, and I've been picking this up. He wanted, seems like divine feminine or somebody, maybe both twins actually, to be confused. He wanted the new contracted divine masculine to be confused about his divine feminine, and he wanted the divine feminine to be confused about her masculine because he wanted her not to move on from him after he fell. He wanted her to stay or let him loop back around, or he wanted her to come chase her. In some cases, that's why they fell. They were playing games like that. Instead of just being honest and authentic, they were wasting time and energy, not just their own, which was very disrespectful. Not the type of person or situation you can be in a healthy relationship with or a stable connection with. It's not a healthy dynamic. Base of the deck, we've got the Queen of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles, she's been building. Somebody tried to create losses, but she kept going. She kept going. They wanted her to feel like she had divine support. I feel like this is towards a divine feminine, maybe not just. And they wanted her to not have a sense of abundance or sustained satiability. Yeah, see, Queen of Pentacles in reverse. They wanted her to have losses. Queen of Wands. They didn't want her to have any passion. In some cases, they wanted to cause such destruction that she lost hope, because then they thought that she wouldn't manifest or be able to manifest. Queen of Wands popped out again. She's upright. So this is somebody that tried to compete with the Empress, or actually that King of Wands came out though, and there was a Knight of Wands with it, very immature, very lust based, and that was all that there was behind it, because he didn't actually shop to evolve or commit or be decent. That's why the Six of Swords was in reverse. There's no moving forward with her. This is a fallen masculine, and so he didn't want her to have passion to move forward, because she didn't want to move forward with him. Ace of Cups. But she only cleared him out of her energy. I hear kill him with kindness, because he was toxic. They get mad then when she leaves, but, or when the light worker, non-gender specific, leaves. Yeah, look, the Magician in reverse, but they give people no reason to stay. Not sad or confused or dwelling. We know it was the right call to walk away. Just waiting for those ships to come in. The Moon. See, but they wanted things to be hidden, secret. Like the fact that they were below the light worker, trying to knock them off of their perceived pedestal. And then they wanted to play the victim, crying, claiming that they needed handouts because they're greedy and they wanted handouts that they didn't need, which actually took them away from people that did need them, including people that they put in a victim mode by victimizing them. Crazy. So they hurt people, and then they play the victim to blame the person that they hurt, and then take any resources that that person might have gotten as a result of being hurt when they're claiming false victim themselves. Those karmics. That was their intent anyway. Look, it's a karmic female I keep picking up too. Water sign energy. Cleared that right out earlier. So here's another thing. I did pick up, there has been a few reference points actually about this, but like a water sign feminine especially trying to cause conflict for divine beings, but especially jealous divine feminine, or she's jealous of divine feminine. And so what I picked up was that it's like they're trying to create messes. I hear shitstorms for people, but it actually exposes them. It blows over onto them. Or for example, I spilled a little bit of water earlier, but it actually ended up cleaning off the counter. Like, it was some water that spilled, or it was leaking actually. I was making juice, and before I could blend it, I didn't realize that the bottom wasn't sealed all the way. And so the water started leaking out the bottom, and it pooled over here, and then it spilled out, and it got under all all the stuff over. So I had to take all of it apart, piece by piece, row by row, and wipe up under it. But joke's on them, because I'd actually been meaning to do that anyway. And not only did this give me an excuse over other priorities, more pressing priorities, but it forced me to just knock something that was already on my list off anyway. Alchemy, joke's on you, boo-boo. Chariot, exactly. God's laughing. God gets the last laugh. Because they wanted to try to make us juggle. I'm going to make you have to deal with more stuff. Actually, 2 birds, 1 stone. You think you're making a mess? Truly, you just gave me the means to clean up another one. Right? They wanted to put a death to whatever we were doing and working on, and problem solved. I just screwed the bottom of the blender on tighter and refilled the water in it. The juice is made in the fridge, ready to go for tomorrow. 2 birds. See, they wanted to try to block the alchemy. They can't do that. I'm gonna mess up what you're doing. No. Their clout chasing backfired too. Because either nobody pays attention to them, or the things that they're known for are not things that they want to be known for. I mean, like, they'd rather be invisible than be known for those things, because the things that they want to be known for are things that don't look very good when placed next to what they're actually being shown for. They wanted to hide their devil tendencies or falsely project them on others. But it's not working. People are seeing that they were greedy and trying to snatch other people's blessings or take handouts that they didn't need, 2222, or didn't deserve at that. And also, they were trying to take opportunities or blessings or resources from other people. I hear those are for real victims. Yeah. So they were trying to play victims when they weren't, to get some kind of resources that go to victims, or they were trying to claim victim when they weren't, to take them from a real victim, or both. Narcissistic sociopathy comes to mind. They lack empathy, they're impulsive, they're manipulative, they don't care that they're hurting people as long as they get their way. They're often depressed, which makes them lash out at other people. Then they're often anxious, which is when people like that often end up being stalkers, because I mean, it's a very addictive behavioral pattern, and also process in the brain, frankly. 2322, like an addict, they get anxious and they want to go use, and then they get kind of excited when they're getting the thrill of the chase and the high, and then they find a moment of perceived comfort on some level, or it's a dopamine or serotonin hit in the brain. So a temporary pleasure center hit, temporary happiness hit in the brain, but it's short-lived, just like any drug, and then they go chasing for the next one. But in this case, the stalking victim becomes the stalker's fix. They become the drug to the stalker. Their brains react the same way, chemically, in the same areas. The thrill of the chase, the anxiety that comes, or the agitation even that comes from like the fiending aspect or the withdrawal. And then the temporary happiness or pleasure that they get from actually using or actually stalking the victim again plays out the same way in their brains. It's a problem. That's why they often become addicted to the victims, stalking them. They get upset or anxious when they can't anymore. It's honestly almost sad. It's more sad for the victims. Alarmingly so. Cheers. I'm going to do a little bit of Reiki before I head out for the night. hear sirens as your clairaudient. Karmics, some karmics in trouble for their crimes and what they've done. No, clear that out, thank you. I think this is still too hot. A little bit. There's Abundance Reiki. I said Sovereignty Reiki, right? I also heard Alopecia Reiki, so this is for whoever that needs that. I had a viewer that's been here for a long time, like 7 years, so on and off. Tell me the other day in a comment that the reason that I've been picking that up is because that's something that they'd been dealing with. So for whoever it's for, I'm happy to help. Karmic is asking just why? Why? Because I genuinely love people. And I have a gift that can help people. A gift that a lot of people don't have access to. And while my prices are not what they should be, the session with me really should be priced at about $1,000 per session. I've kept them low for now, and regardless of whether they're low or not, I know that there are plenty of people who still haven't been able to afford them, and that is not a valid reason for people not to get the care that they need, not in my book. Reiki is just a form of energy medicine. Imagine turning somebody away at a hospital, at the emergency room, or it doesn't even matter whether it's the ER or a scheduled appointment. Imagine turning somebody away. It happens all the time, actually, because they don't have health care or something. It's a problem. Similarly speaking, there's a reason that I make a point to code my Reiki so that it doesn't go towards people who don't want it. It doesn't cross the violation or the threshold of violating people's energy field. If their spirit is opposed to it, if their cognizant thoughts, if their conscious awareness, like just their normal human emotions and thought process, mentally and emotionally, they don't want it, then I don't send it. Or it's coded to skip over them. Because we only seek alignment. However, that would be like treating a patient without consent as a doctor. Energy doctor, in a sense, in comparison. But there's still a code of ethics there, as above, so below. Spiritually speaking, the same way that there is with the law, the legal system. Cheers. There's a karmic who's trying to argue that point right now. Hold on just a moment. But I'm not speaking from a place of opinion. Karmic said, yes, you are. Yes, you are. What makes you the authority over it? Well, that's the thing is, all of that coming from a karmic, that's their opinion. But it's not my opinion. I'm just listening to the divine. So this karmic trying to argue with me is not arguing with me. They think they are because they're trying to argue with the words coming out of my mouth. But I'm just the divine channel on this. You know, I'm impartial to it. They can think what they want, but their thinking is wrong based on that statement and sentiment. Not because I said so, because God did. And again, they think that they're arguing with me. They're not. I'm just speaking the channel that came up. It had nothing to do with me, other than the fact that I was called to speak it. Law of transmutation. The law of love, see? The law of time. The law of power. Remember the truth of who you are. So they're too busy lying to themselves and other people, even about themselves and who they are, to have any sense of truth. The law of divinity, exactly. And so, as above, so below. That's why destiny, things aren't working out for them. But they're trying to block other people's destinies. The law of polarity. The moment you judge anything as good or bad, you set the universe into motion. So the way that they've been trying to minimize and ridicule light workers or control them and play a power trip, the law of growth, the law of compensation. That's why they're broke. The law of habit in reverse. They can't break any negative habits, those addiction patterns, because they're stuck in a toxic mentality. You know what it's giving? It's Kali Yuga, which is the concept of it's an unawakened state of being. It's a sleeper state, basically. You either have people who are not consciously aware or just karmics, period. And it's a societal thing. It means that there are a lot of people in this world, in this timeline, that are feeding in and fueling in and running in the toxicity. They're in karmic mode with blinders on, and they don't want to change, and they fight against change and the truth. But the secondary state of this is a state of conscious evolution. So there is an awakening period, but this state of combat comes from people trying to fight that truth. They're just, it's like they want to stay asleep whether they know it or not. Get out of your comfort zone and take bold actions. And that's what they don't do well. Trying to bully other people who are right to try to convince people that we're wrong, and it's not working. The law of allowing, yeah, see, karmic was just trying to argue that point, and I'm not even saying anything about it, because it's not worth trying to fix stupid or argue with an idiot. The law of secondary causation, exactly. You can't change somebody like that. They don't want to change. The law of vibration, I just split the deck, exactly. The law of karma, and that's what they're learning, or they will be about to learn the hard way. Is there anything else you want to talk about? We were just talking about this karmic thought that I was speaking on cosmic law from a place of opinion, law of individualization, law of relativity, and increase. So the whole thing with the copycat dynamic, what that has done is brought more blessings towards the light workers. Because they tried to block the growth of somebody who always had the strength to overcome them. The law of cosmic creation. Yeah. See, they were trying to, told you, fight against divine will. They were trying to fight against divine will, which is why they're not co-creating with the divine. But guess what? The light workers are. Divine feminine is. 36:22. Evolution. They were not evolving. Because they don't want to grow and change. They don't want to learn. They don't want to gain a higher perspective or understand that they were wrong. Or that they've been incorrect. They're out of flow and out of sync with the universe. They're fighting with the divine. Look, flow. Law of manifestation. The law of perfection, but they're not. That's why they're not manifesting. It's in reverse. But the law of abundance is working on the light worker sides because the law of correlation is here. And so it's that cause and effect. Right? The light worker has been working in alignment. I talked earlier about that blockage in the mental and emotional. They don't want to acknowledge the truth. It's giving cognitive dissonance, truly. But there's a alignment happening here, mind, body, spirit, between the light workers. And so if there has been any issue or healing and imbalance on any level, mind, body, spirit, you're being given the space you need and also the tools that you need to recover, or you will, including financial resources I'm picking up for some. For those that applies to. Anything else? The law of divinity. God's got it in divine hands. Take the action steps that you're divinely guided to take. And I'll catch you on the next one. Blessings and namaste.